All right. So, hello, Brandon and Nick. Please give my audience an elevator pitch for them to check out your movie, The Devil and the Daylong Brothers.
Devil and the Daylong Brothers. All right. So the old tale of trading your soul to the devil for riches or talent. In our story, a man sells the souls of his sons to the devil, and we follow them, 20, 30 years later. They are on a mission to get their souls back from the devil. And that entails killing their dad. So they're hunting down their dad, and they're cutting through the damned, through the South Georgia, and trying to get their souls back. And it's a musical, and they sing along the way, and it's a bloody mess. So
All right. Well, tell me about the tracks. Tell people about the tracks.
Standard, just a
just
standard
a
movie.
normal, yeah, just kind of your everyday musical, Southern Gothic
Yeah.
musical.
No,
Yeah.
we stumbled upon this genre years ago, just doing shorts, and it was funny. We did this and just found out that there was an audience out there for this kind of weird, whatever this weird style is that we've cultivated. Every time we would do a kind of normal short film, it would get whatever attention. Then we would make one of these kind of more musical ones, and then there would be this big bump, and people liked it. So we decided to go. And every time we would go to Hollywood, they would ask about, what about, do you have anything for like one of the musical ones? And we just thought it was kind of crazy that so we ended up doing it
So
anyway.
and did it, yeah.
Yeah, so we went and did it. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. How do you describe the music here?
It's definitely I mean, again, it's kind of like it's like bluegrass but like blues grass meets rock, I guess. I don't know. It's all about acoustic guitars and tuning them to weird tunings so that they don't make any sense anymore, and there's weird dissonant strings ringing, and it's people singing their guts out. You know what I mean? It's from whatever, from if it's Jordan Bolden singing "Hell's at Hand" at the top of his lungs, or Nike belting out "I've Been Wrong" by himself, or even at the end we get the great Keith Carradine sitting down and relive his days, getting him to be like the guy who won the Oscar for playing a song in a movie. I'm like, hey, I wonder if he'd come back and sing a song in a movie again. So those are little building blocks we've got to put this, whatever this weird style is. But yeah, I'll leave it to you guys to name it. I for sure don't have a name for it.
Good stuff. Yeah, I actually just recommended to someone to see McCabe and Mrs. Miller, which Keith Carradine is in. He's got a
Yeah.
great line in it. And I would love to know what he's like. The Carradines are legendary. They're so cool. What's Keith Carradine like to work with?
He's like yeah, a legend. He showed up on set and he was so generous and kind, and he brought this like this sacredness to it. Like we all felt like it was something that was really important. Like he just brought this like legitness to production. And he was just a calming and like just like an excellent presence, man. It was so cool just to get to be with him. Like, as a director, I wasn't really telling him what to do as much as I was trying to figure out what he was saying. I was very much like I wanted to have his opinions on this thing because he's just so excellent and great. And then he got to spend a lot more time with Nick, work on the music
Yeah,
too.
it was fun, man. And he said this, I mean, right at the gate when casting director Erica reached out to him about it. He just said, I read the script a day a lot of the time. I've been doing this my whole life, and I've never seen anything like this before. And it feels important, and it feels like something I should do. And that was pretty much, he's like, I don't know why, but I'm really drawn to this. It seems like it's an important thing to do, and I want to do it. And he came up to the middle of nowhere, Georgia, for way less money than I think he's ever worked for in his whole
He's
career.
got to be.
But he was just giddy to do it. He had a smile on his face. He
Yeah.
was so excited. There was not an ounce of complaining. He did too much. We had a scene where he kind of gets thrown down, and we had a stuntman there. He's like, I think I can do it. I'm like, are you sure?
We
Like,
had to
I don't
dial him
want to be
back. Yeah, he was.
responsible for hurting you, man. But he was all in, dude. He was so in.
I don't want to break legendary Keith Carradine,
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm trying to avoid that on my IMDb.
I love
Yeah,
it.
for real.
I love it. You have Rainey Qualley in this movie, who is the sister of Margaret Qualley. That's very cool. People will recognize her from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and The
Yep.
Substance. Do you think Rainey will rise or surpass Margaret one day? Is it possible? What's she like as a collaborator?
Oh, it's all different. They all have their own magic. But yeah, Rainey is like this enigmatic creature. Rainey can just be sitting there and she's herself one moment, and then you can just snap your finger. She's that character. And she would just jump into this character that we wrote for her. And she's psychotic and in the best possible way. But yeah, her talent, and then she opens her mouth and sings, and she's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, no one should be as talented as Rainey is. She actually sings models. She's the best, man. And she, again, like you said, she just kind of, she'll just hang out and then, oh, it's time to do this, and then just explode into this thing. So I mean, I know her and her sister are like thick as thieves. They've been together. They still are roommates. Like they've just been together forever. So I don't know how much of comparison that they would ever have. They're just supportive. Like once I became, once I knew Rainey and became friends with her, you see her Instagram. She was with her sister when Once Upon a Time in Hollywood came out, and there was a billboard in LA, and they're just such a great siblings, and you can see the love they have for each other. And I know that anytime that Margaret does a film, Rainey is right in her corner supporting her, and I believe that she's doing the exact same thing for Rainey right now because they just seem like great sisters, really really good.
They're really close, yeah.
No, it's nice. They sound like lovely people. So, if you could distill the overall vibe of this film to one word, you both get to pick a word. What are you going to say?
One word.
Yeah, that's the vibe.
Dirty.
Oh,
Just
gritty.
Not like a little sexy dirty. Maybe we can add that one too, but just
yeah.
Kind of
All
a
right.
grunge
Okay.
glam. It's 2 words, but I'll take grunge glam.
Hyphenate it, yeah.
Hyphenate
Oh, there you go. Okay, you can cheat a little bit. That's okay. So, I actually recently saw Emilia Perez. I just saw it on Saturday, and I felt, that movie has songs and violence mixed in as well.
Yes.
Do you feel like there's like a surface level similarity to that film?
I don't know. There's something, when you make art, I always feel like we're all just reaching for the same, fruit that's hanging from the trees. And I guess, this is, that film, it's a foreign film. It's in a different world than ours. But yeah, I guess we were pulling from the same tree at that time. And it was shocking to see that come out and do so well at the Golden Globes. It was like, I didn't actually even heard of it when it was doing all that work. And I was like, wow. It's amazing to me because I thought, again, I still think our film is really unique, but it's so cool that someone else is out there in that space, like doing something. And as much as I love Wicked or things like that, those are the obvious standout. You're always going to have your musicals, but to see other people kind of looking in this and treating it not as this special thing, but like, no, this is just a part of normal things. Again, we stole this idea from Disney, 90s Disney action films. They're not this, you go watch Aladdin or The Little Mermaid, they're not wall to wall music. They just have 4 or 5 or 6 songs. And that's kind of what we borrowed from because we wanted it to feel like there was real story and real characters and real arcs. And every once in a while, you're just throwing a song because why not? It's what we do.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, groovy. Okay, so this movie was co-written, and I want to know what's that dynamic like? Is it is it 2 people in the same room? Is it you do your thing, I do mine, we come back? Tell me about
Yeah, a little bit of everything. I mean, it's just the 2 of us. So I did the screenplay, and then Nick does the songs and the music and lyrics, and so it really is almost like kind of a half and half. We're both responsible for saying things about the characters and what comes out of their mouths. We're both writing pretty much like dialogue. And so you got to be really synced up. And so yeah, sometimes I'd work on it and bring some ideas, and then Nick would work on it, and really becomes this back and forth, and they kind of grow together so that they're intertwined and made for each other. So it's not just visual candy shot over a cool song, right? They're literally storyboard and designed to be together.
And it's hard for people to understand that don't do it. I think when we finished the script, we sent to the blacklist, not to try to get it made because we were going to make it, but it was more about like, hey, maybe shoot some holes in it. Just help us with the plot. Maybe it's something we're not saying, just feedback. And every single feedback was like, what are you guys doing? How are you going to find someone to write? Like, they didn't understand that we had written this together. So like, how you have these lyrics in there, but you can't just write lyrics. Like, you're going to have to, like, they were so upset. They couldn't get past, like, yeah, the movie's cool, but how are you going to do this? Like, you don't understand. Like, we've done this together. We sat in a room and we came up with these characters and the story and the arc, and we know what's happening. And I'll go away and write a song, and he'll work on the screenplay, and we'll come back, and it really is lockstep every step of the way until it's done.
I guess when you have a vision, it just seems kind of crazy to people.
Yes, absolutely. 100%. Well said. Yeah,
for sure.
But again, this film was definitely when we pitched it around the town, we didn't go to too many people because it was such a specific thing. And everyone's like, I don't understand what it is that you're trying to make. And it turned it into going, well, I guess we're just gonna have to show you. I mean, that's pretty much, It was more out of stubbornness just to go, well, if you can't see our shorts and understand what it is that we're doing, then I guess we'll have to go make it. And hopefully, this is the first of many feature-length ones we get to do where we can kind of show the world like, no, this is, again, it should feel unique when you watch it, but from a oh, this is not what I thought about when I think of the term musical, because again, we were talking about this today, like you don't look at the Little Mermaid or Aladdin and go, oh, these are musicals. Like, no, it's just a Disney movie. That's just what they do. And so for whatever reason in Whitestone, that's kind of the films that we've turned in doing. And hopefully that's what we get known for. It's like, no, this is kind of how their movies go, you know?
I
We'll
dig
see.
it. And so, sorry, you said,
Yeah.
oh, sorry, you wanted to add? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, so we're saying, yeah, if they let us keep doing them, it will
Yeah.
be something that
We get to keep
doing.
making them. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool, cool, cool. Sorry about that. So you said you shot this in Georgia. Where was it in Georgia? And was it ever scary to be in there?
It's always scary when you're in the,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, you write movies, as Hitchcock, he would write up police because he was scared of them. But for whatever reason, like going into the middle of nowhere country scares me. We call it Daylong country. And it was funny. There's a place that we called the middle of nowhere where a friend of ours has like a cabin and we would go out there. And then I remember when I was looking for the church location, I was like, oh, this is kind of, I'm looking at the map. I'm like, this is going by the middle of nowhere. And then I drove another hour and it was like, God, I have no idea where the hell I am. And that is pretty much where Daylong Country is, where you don't know what year you're in. Yes, it's 2025 right now, but if you go out there, you're not going to see any new cars from 2025. You're not going to see people wearing new clothes. It exists in and out of time. And so that space in Georgia for us, I mean, the Deep South with music and the blues, it all made sense, but something about that aesthetic just really seemed to lend itself to the film. And it's creepy, and you make things that scare you, and that's what we did.
Yeah, and you can't really fake a lot of that stuff. It's
Yeah.
we're filming in the spots, we're in the mountains, we're in the swamps. We're not faking it. We're actually doing it. It looks great.
And studio days are fun. It's AC. You
Right,
can go
yeah.
in there and you just can wear nice clothes. But like, I don't know, we're very, like you said, dirty. We grew up making films in the woods. When you don't have a lot of money, is whatever production design you can get, and that production design is generally, whatever's around the
The
corner.
woods, basically.
So that's what we know, and so I'd much rather go out in the middle of nowhere where you have to pee in the woods, or like there's a porta potty and just feels like you're making something real, where most things in Hollywood they're pretty fake, and not to knock it. I love most of the things coming out of there, but there's something different about the way we make movies, because we really are to drag you to the middle of nowhere. And if I can find a location, I'm going to go there, as opposed to building some set somewhere. I just want it to feel lived in. And this movie to me was lived in. Even our costume designer, Dana, like that's her aesthetic. Is like, I want these clothes to feel lived in. And so she'll hit them with a level of aging that is, most people would stop, and she just keeps going. We really want it to feel grounded, like it's something that this jacket he's been wearing his whole life.
I love it. So, don't no spoilers here, but do you have a favorite kill in the movie? Like, don't say who the character is, but is there a graphic scene of violence you could describe?
Oh, favorite kill. Yeah. Yeah, no spoilers, but it's about 12 stabs to the chest and one to the head. So I think that would probably be my favorite one. And ends in pink spray. So we'll put it that way.
Yeah. I don't know if I've got a favorite one. I mean, other than like the very first one is just, it was a part that we wrote really quickly because we wanted to show them doing something, save the cat, kick the cat. We wanted to kick the cat really early. So there's someone that we
Yes.
kill in there that's actually an actor that's a friend of ours. He's a local actor. I'm like, we're bringing him in here just so we can kill him, just because he's a good friend of ours, and it's going to feel good to do that. We were on set, and once the set, you shoot him, and our guys, they've got him wrapped up and they jerk him back so he kind of slings back. We watched that one on loop for a while. I send him that GIF once a year. I'm like, on his birthday, here you go. Here's your getting killed again.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Was there a stage of filmmaking that was your favorite?
Gosh, yeah, honestly, just getting out there, just being on set in the middle of the woods with your friends, making cool art. That's it. I mean, that's the road for me. So I mean, just the in the process, there's like this messiness of creation, and everyone's kind of like we're designing things on the fly, and it's like happening in real time. There's no greater rush for me. That's my favorite thing in the world.
Love this phase when I'm doing it, but when I look back, my favorite times really are just Brandon and I sitting in a room. When it gets closer, we'll put this script on the TV and we'll just It's not arguing. It really is like we're both absolutely trying to make this as good as possible, and the best idea wins. And so he'll say something, and I'll go, I don't know, man, about this, and we'll go back and forth. And just I look back really fondly on those times because I just have so many memories of just trying to get it right and doing. We've told this story before, but like there's a million books on how to write screenplays everywhere, but there's no books on how to write a musical. And so when we figured out, when we were doing this, like, how do we, our page count is not hitting. Okay, we're having an inciting incident in 20 minutes, but it's, ours is late. And it's like nothing was matching up to the typical math you're going for. And it was because we were doing something new. So I remember when we realized that we were making a 90s Disney film, it was like, that was the exciting part for me, was going, oh, this is what we're doing. And just the that came upon our faces as we watched, Aladdin or Frozen. It was these two grown men looking at Frozen going, oh, this is kind of like when he sings I've Been Wrong. That's like our Let It Go, because it's his little lament. And so I know that sounds really bizarre, but those are my favorite memories of just stumbling upon what we're making and going, oh, it's this. Let's go down this road now.
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, Brandon and Nick, thank you so much for your time. It was a lot of fun chatting with you today. What do you think is the best thing about your movie?
Ooh. What's the best thing?
Yeah, everyone.
I'll say the music. I'm a huge fan. I'm a professional fan guy, so I think music freaking rocks.
My favorite part is for sure that, I don't know if you feel this way, but I have so many friends like, I'm just so sick of seeing a reboot or a remake or the next sequel. And I go, well, you have a real chance to see something new here. There's no other Southern Gothic musicals that we've ever been able to find. We've looked for them. And so we really did make something that I think is original and highly unique. And I really hope to see Hollywood give the reins back to visionaries and the creatives. And I know, as much as I want to see the new Avengers, like I really, really want to see something new. And so our film being unique is the favorite part for me, for sure.
All right. Well, guys, it was a lot of fun talking to you today. Have a great one.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Hey, thank you so much.